So the winter storm is finally starting to wind down for us. As you can see, we still got a good bit of flurries, and it was actually snowing quite a good bit this morning. And man, we have a lot of snow. In fact, I'm gonna measure it here and see how much we've gotten and do some shoveling and then check on the chickens. Let's see. Showed about 10.5. It's pretty good snowfall, yeah. All right, let's go check on the chickens. We really didn't get very much ice. There does appear to be a little bit of maybe a tiny layer of ice on the bottom. When it first started, there was some sleet mixed in, but we didn't get any real significant ice accumulation here. Really, it was mostly just snow. So that's a really good thing because Glenn had to go to work in it, and the worst he really had to deal with was just snow-covered roads, luckily. Unfortunately for the chickens, they're going to be stuck in there for a little while longer because it's going to stay cold all week. So this snow isn't going anywhere. Plus, we might actually be getting a little bit more snow this coming weekend. So yeah, it's January. And I used to actually shovel a path from their coop to underneath our deck when we would have snow. But I stopped doing that because last year I had multiple times where chickens would go and get under the deck and then they wouldn't put themselves back up in the coop at night. And I would have to go under the deck and chase chickens under a deck in the cold, in the dark. Yeah, it was not fun. I don't want to repeat that, so they're just gonna have to stay in there. At least shovel off some of this, the depth off of this. I'm not gonna go too crazy with it because so much of this is already packed. It is what it is at this point. The temperature really isn't that bad. It's like, I don't know, 24, 25 degrees. And most of this snow is actually more like a powder snow, but there is some mixed in wetter type snow. But me and Kaja were going to make a really big snowman, and no, you can't do it with this stuff. We may attempt to do some sledding today. I don't really know how well that's going to work out with the snow being this deep, so we shall see. The snow is so deep for Kaja that it comes up to her belly and she just kind of like pushes through it or hops over it. It's really funny to watch. But she really, really loves the snow. I have this little bench over here in the woods, kind of where Uni's buried, and Finn and Ella. I was gonna go over there and measure that and see if it was saying 10.5 as well. It is exhausting walking in snow this deep. Oh my goodness. If I can get up here. Reading about 10.5 also, so I guess that's official. Tell you what, it is slick underneath that snow. was looking at the forecast for at least the next 7 days, which I know is of limited use, but there really is no end in sight right now for this cold weather and this snow. So I think what I'm going to do, because I feel so bad for these chickens to be stuck in the chicken coop for that long. So I think what I'm going to do is at least shovel a small area right outside their coop so they can at least come out and get some fresh air. Maybe even shovel a path to the compost. I don't know, we'll see, but I just want them to be able to get out of there. Better than nothing. It's a little something. And the thing is any little bit of sun that comes out, that will start to melt really quick. Once you start exposing some pavement or some ground, as soon as the sun hits it, it melts fast. So that'll get things started at least to where they can at least start getting out of the coop a little more. I still don't know that they'll really even come out because there's still technically some snow on the ground and they really just don't like to stand in the snow. Oh, there's no Nami. You gonna try? Come on, buddy. Come on out. Yeah. There you go, buddy. Well, getting more and more tempted to shovel it to the compost pile. It's not really that far. You know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and do it. There's some spent beer grain in there that they definitely could be eating right now. Oh, they're going back in. I don't have too long. It'll be dinner time. I'm doing meatloaf, mashed potatoes tonight. I always feel like when it's cold outside that it's time for meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I have no idea why. I think it just goes back to being a little girl. For some reason I associate cold winter days with my mom making meatloaf and mashed potatoes, although I don't know how often those two things actually correlated. I'm gonna dump this in the compost, and then before I start dinner, me and Kadra are gonna see if there's any chance at all that we can do some sledding. I kind of have my doubts because the snow is just so deep. I do have like a round disc kind of sleddy thing. I forget what you call it. It might actually be better than my sled. It's gonna take us a long time just to get up there. I don't know. Now, let's see if I can even get started. If I went up and down this with the sled multiple times dragging it, eventually I would be able to sled it. It's just so much fun. I'm sorry I'm sorry we can't sled. Kadra, is it just the best day ever though, even though we can't sled? Yeah.